Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to teach you about on how to evaluate piecewise functions. So without our ado, let's just quickly start. So what if we have a function of f of x is equals to this thing? We have 4x plus 5 and we also have 3x minus 8. And meron tayong given conditions na if x is less than to 2 and x is greater than or equal to 2. So we're going to find what is f of mistake f of negative 2. And we're also going to find why did I keep putting x? F of 2. So what are they? How can we define them? How can we evaluate them with given such a case? So let's just try to evaluate these two. F of 5. Here, okay, there we go. So we can get more examples. So f of negative 2, what we're going to look for is yung conditions on the right side of the function, of the piecewise function. So as we can see here, we have x is less than to 2. So kapag less sa 2, what is that? Yung mga less numbers sa 2. So if we're going to evaluate piecewise functions, kailangan alam natin yung greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, yung mga difference nila. Kung hindi, if not, just go back to elementary. I mean, just review them. So there you go. So we're going to use that specific function. So we got this. So f of negative 2 is equals to 4 times negative 2 is negative 8 plus 5. And then, so f of negative 2 is equals to negative 8 plus 5. That is going to be negative 3. And that's the answer for that problem. So now let's move on f of 2. So how can we evaluate this? So again, we're going to look for the conditions that will be met. So x is less greater than or equal to 2. Meaning, yung mga numbers greater sa 2, which is 3, 4 to infinity. So we're going to use that specific function. So 3x minus 8 nilalagay natin. Replacing x with 2, we got this. So 3 times 2 is 6, minus 8 is negative 2. So that's the answer for that problem. Now let's move on sa f of 5. So f of 5 natin, we're just still going to use that function. Because na-meet niya yung conditions na x is greater than or equal to 2. So let's just use that function once again. So we got this. 3 times 5 minus 8. So 5 times 3 is 15 minus 8. 8 times 2 is 16 minus 1 is 7. So we got this. So I'm just trying to emphasize my multiplication technique. So there. And now, as we know all of those things, let's just continue with another problem. So I'm just going to write a function here na medyo mahaba-haba. Okay. You can fast forward the video as I'm writing these things. So we got x cubed plus 4. Let's have 12. Yeah. So yung 12 is tinatawag siyang constant function. Yan, ito yung mga conditions niya. We have negative 1 less between negative 1 and 2. Ganyan. X is greater than 2. X is equal to 2. Now let's evaluate this. So what if we have negative 4? So what we are going to use? What function we're going to use? So we're just going to see this. So as we can see, it is x is less than to negative 1. So ano yung mga numbers na less than sa negative 1? We have negative 2, negative 3, and negative 4. As we can see, it just basically fits in perfectly into that condition. So that's why we're going to use that quadratic function. So replacing x with 4, we got those things. We got this. So we got 9 minus 12 and negative 3 as our final answer. So that's it. Okay, now let's move on sa if we have this. What if we're trying to evaluate f of comma 0? So what specific function we're going to use? So dito naman, it met this condition which is between negative 1 and 2. So ano yung mga numbers na between negative 1 and 2? We got 0, we got 1, and including yung negative 1. So negative 1, 0, and 1. So we got this. 6 as our final answer. Now, what if we're trying to evaluate? I'm just trying to give some examples here. F of 8. So what we're going to use? What function we're going to use? So we're going to use this because it is greater than 2. So what numbers are greater than 2? Above 3 to infinity, right? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 hanggang infinity. So that's the numbers that's greater than 2. So 8 squared is 64. Ang 8 cube is what? So we're going to multiply it again by 8. So I'm just using manual calculation because I'm not going to use calculator. I don't want to use calculator. So ang 8 cube is 512. So we get 512 plus 4 here. And there you go. So 512 plus 4 is 516. Right? And there you go. So this is the answer for f of 8. Okay. Let's try to do some more problems. So let's try f of, not 0. We already did that. F of 2. So, yung conditions na naman lang dito is yung x is equals to 2. So, basically, 12 yung sagot niya. We do not have x value, so we're not going to replace anything. So, this is the answer for this problem. And that's just basically it for this video. I hope you learned something. And I actually have a playlist about this. So, goodbye.